income. When they fail to do so, they are bitterly cheating not only their own child, but every other child in that classroom where the chance to learn is spoiled. If we can't even call it by name, inadequate parenting, how can we even begin to fix the problems? This is a social problem, not an educational problem, and expecting the schools to fix it is completely unreasonable. Continuously throwing good money after bad down the rat hole of politically correct, culturally sensitive instruction, dumbing down tests, and measuring until the gap between learning nothing and learning almost nothing disappears. Framing the poor teachers to tolerate ever-increasing levels of abuse and violence is not going to help. Meanwhile, how much of the education of children who want and deserve to learn is sacrificed every day? This insanity goes on. Then, from the Mike Burbach, Pat Effenberger opinion, Sunday paper again, from the community information session you people held, the Saturday, Monday, yesterday, and a couple more people should make themselves aware of that. Some of the things we try won't work. We need to resist the temptation of pointing fingers when that happens. No, Pat and Mike, you aren't right. You need to call the superintendent out. You need to make some adjustments. I call it firing the superintendent, because elsewise the same problems exist and continue. Thank you for listening, Board. All right, there you have the comments. You know, the rest of I mentioned it on the end there, the community information meetings that they're having. They had one down at the administration building, one out at one of the schools. There's two more coming up. And what I'm afraid with that is that these things are being taken over by the pundits. There was Rybeck there, the deputy mayor from St. Paul, Mike Kramer from the St. Paul Business Association, that it's all system. In other words, let's keep the status quo. Let's keep this failing system going. It's always that the problem is we just don't have enough resources. We need more money. And, you know, when I talked about that, you know, Pat Effenberger and Mike Burbach. Burbach is the editor, and Pat Effenberger, we call her the letter lady. We suspect she's the one that writes these unsigned letters, editorials. You know, that's really a disgusting behavior on the newspaper parts, because these editorials just don't fall out of the sky. Let's find out whose opinion we're reading. When you watch this show, you know you're hearing the opinions, educated, thought out, studied, but nevertheless from Bob Zick. Why does a newspaper insist on hiding who's putting some of this garbage out? So at the bottom of the article is this, what I said to the school board. It says here, some things we try, and that's all the failed experiments that the superintendent did, dumping the emotional, behavioral, dysfunctional kids into the main classrooms, harming those kids, not giving them what they need, putting in all the English language learners. It all slows down the kids that are there to learn. And the editorial says we need to resist the temptation to point fingers when that happens. What a bunch of hooey. How many times does the liberal side, the media, go after